Thank you for having me here. So I'm really happy to be here. So I won't talk about a specific product or business model, but I really want to share my experiences in developing technology to address a very important problem to me that we face today is the preservation of cultural heritage in many places, in many situations. So I'm Yves Bellman. I'm an architect by training. And I started my career in Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan, I saw how fast, the cultural heritage is disappearing from one year to another. So we started, it was like 13 years ago, to come in Afghanistan with the first civilian drone to make a 3D copy of sites from all over the country. So the idea was really to have a digital twin of these places that are the only testimony we have from some ancient civilization. And with this, so we take thousands of pictures with a drone, and then we reconstruct a sort of database. As you can see here, it's billions of points that reconstruct a landscape, an architecture, up to details of, archaeological artifacts. So the idea is really to keep in a digital way some places, not only architecture, but also landscape, that are threatened today and that are telling, the story, the history of this place of Afghanistan. So we started working not only in Afghanistan, in many places, like here in Syria, just after the massive destruction of Palmyra. Also to take all the information on the picture to preserve, these monuments. But in this case, you can imagine that we arrived too late after the destruction. So the idea was to take ancient archive, like old photography and drawing, using AI to rebuild in 3D with this ancient archive, disappeared temples. So here you can see these temples that are not visible anymore. So this is the site as it is today. And you will see in red how we can rebuild digitally the disappeared monument. So we started in Afghanistan, then in Syria, in Iraq, in Libya, to be able to use AI and technology to rebuild digitally what is disappearing so fast. Here we are in Aleppo, for example, just after the bombing, in the same city after the earthquake. So we really try to make like a worldwide depository of, this is Mosul, just after the destruction of Mosul. And this is Libya. So the threat is not only conflict, it's also climate change. And here the sea is recovering Roman sites. And again, we try to monitor, this destruction, that is a long-term destruction, using drones and AI. So since 13 years, we are traveling the world to build this kind of massive library of digital assets, of digital sites, to preserve the memory of humanity. So then after, with all this 3D material, we thought how we can find also a way to be sustainable, business model to help us, to finance this mission. So here we came to the production of exhibition. So this digital landscape can be used also to make immersive experience for the museum. And it was really interesting because, many people from the public cannot access to those remote places because of the safety and because many problems of this country. And it was a unique opportunity to recontextualize, this artifact. Here, this is an exhibition we did together with Le Louvre and Le Grand Palais. And you can see an artifact from Palmyra in the foreground. And in the background, you can see the context, the architectural and the landscape context from where this artifact is coming. So this is also important for the future of museography, to be able to recontextualize, these artifacts. So now our company, we are 20 people based in Paris, and we are producing many exhibitions trying to make the landscape traveling through this digital immersive content. So using also VR, we can immerse completely people into monuments, into cities. Here we are in a church in Mosul, just after the destruction of the church. And then we saw another massive problem that were targeting archaeological places and cultural heritage. It is a massive tourism. And the massive tourism is now concerning many sites all over the world. And the idea was, the question was how we can use this approach, this technology, to help those sites like Venice, like Rome, like also Paris. Paris is also a victim of massive tourism. In order to preserve and to help, the people to manage this site. So we came to Venice. We came to see the Fondazione dei Musei Civici, with the main public foundation that rules, the sites of Venice. And we decided to make a full 3D model of Venice. It was the really first large-scale 3D of the city. And so it's the whole island we digitize. And so you can see, for example, how you can enter into the city to go from, the level of urbanism to the detail of the sculpture, and helping also the people to understand the contextualization of these places, and helping also to have like a general overview of the place. So this was the first very large-scale 3D model we did. But not only, the outsides of the monument, but also the insides of the monument. Here we are in the Doge Palace, so the main palace of Venice. So we did a full 3D, so we can reconstruct the structure of the palace. And what is interesting is you really have a new comprehension of the architecture by cutting away, some part of the building and having like an idea of the structure of the architecture itself that you cannot even imagine when you visit the monument. It's really a new discovery also for the public who are walking, who are visiting Venice. So you can see the structure of the architecture, but you can also see some details. There is wonderful ceilings in Venice, and you can go very close to the ceilings, like a fly. You can see the detail of this is Verone's picture that nobody can see with this quality because it's 12 meter high, so you cannot have these experiences. So working together with the Fondazione dei Musei Civici, we decided to make additive content for the visitors to have a better view of what they can experience when they visit the monument. And then we decided also to make side exhibition, side event. The idea is how to help Venice to travel the world. There is 30 million people every year who try to visit Venice. And Venice wasn't built, for such a massive use for such a massive number of people. So now the idea is to design, together with the city of Venice, different exhibitions that will travel the world. And in this exhibition, it is interesting because you cannot see exactly what you see when you visit the city. You see more details, you see more structure, you have more comprehension of the city, because we can really tell a story through the images of the place. So we can rebuild this. This was an exhibition we did just before. It was together with Le Grand Palais in Paris, Le Grand Palais immersif. Here it was in Austria. So we were able to rebuild digitally a full room and to have like an exploration of this room with a guide explaining all the detail of the painting. And this kind of explanation you cannot experience on the place because you cannot zoom in and see the details of the monument. And then this is the last project we did. So it was a partnership together with the city of the Vatican, who manage, St. Peter, the main basilica of the Christianity, and Microsoft. Microsoft was really interested to see how we can use AI to produce a better knowledge of our story, in this case of St. Peter, and to have like a more comprehension of the monument, of the sequence of the history. Yeah. So we did a full scan of the basilica, and there is many different layers. There is different undergrounds, because from the past there is like a necropolis under the basilica. This is the interiors of the basilica, the outside of the basilica. And what we did with a so complex model, we did study all the sedimentation of the historical place. And using this analysis, we were able to reconstruct, to recreate, to go back in time and reconstruct the whole monuments that were in this place before the basilica. Because there is some tracks of the monument in the underground, we were able to rebuild the history of this place from the Roman period to now the contemporary time. No? And so we decided together with Microsoft and the Vatican to build spaces inside St. Peter. So you can see here 2 spaces. They will be open in July for the public. So this is a video mapping on the outside of a cupola, so you can see the details of the mosaics that are not really easy to see from the inside. And this is another place. Inside the basilica, there is 2 octagons where we did like immersive journey through the time here, from the Roman time to the actual basilic, and also a journey in the spaces to cross, the different layer of the actual basilica and to see all the details that are not visible for the people. And then using this is the spaces as they are today. So ready to be open to the public, but not yet open to the public. If you go in Rome after July, you will have the opportunity to see that. And this is the space inside. And then we work in using specific technology to make interactive screen, so people can move, inside the model and see, details in this massive data. So you can cut away, see the detail of the hiding place. From the basilica, you cannot experience as a public. This, for example, is a place that nobody can see inside the basilica because it's an archive of the basilica that was built by Michelangelo. And so you really can experience freely, because you are free to navigate into the model, different paths, different discovery that you cannot do for real. So this is an idea of a kind of revolution for the tourists in the future that will really help the manager of the sites to envision the future of the visit and to see how we can provide additive content to this massive tourism that is coming now. And just for 1 minute, just see the kind of large-scale 3D video we can experience inside, these places, inside the visit, to understand here, for example, the complexity of the space, and to understand also all these places that you cannot experience when you visit yourself the place. So I let you see some minutes of these films. that will be experienced in 1 month in St. Peter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yves from Econem. Very nice. We have no time for questions,
Thank you.
unfortunately. Very, very nice. Thank you. Wow.